Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Motorsport Manager, continuing on with the worst to best challenge. And we just finished the second race of the third season, and we'll be moving on to Milan, which is going to be a tough track for us because it's very top speed oriented. It may rain during race day. I mean, it's cloudy, so you never really know with that, but there is rain on practice, so that may carry over. Top speed and deceleration are crucial, which is what's going to really hurt us because we don't have the top speed, and on such a high-speed track, we're going to get really far behind. In any case, let's take a look. We just finished the race, so we're going to have to repair our car before we can do anything else. That's going to take 13 hours. Ooh, what's this? Okay, so we have a new attribute here. Okay, the driver will not renew their contract while Santa Ana is still driving for the team. That's 52 weeks that is the case. Well, we're probably going to replace Dior anyway, so that's not really that big of a deal. But, I mean, it is what it is. As I said, we're going to be replacing him. Santa Ana we're probably going to carry over with. And his contract expires anyway. So that means for sure he will not renew with us, which, again, I'm not really worried about. I was planning on replacing him no matter what. So, all right, we'll carry through with that, though. More than likely what will happen is I'll try and hire a new driver. Santa Ana will probably inherit the secondary role, and we'll hire somebody, hopefully, that's better than Santa Ana for next season. But that's if we can get our cars good enough. I was going to stick with these drivers until I felt like we were getting to that point. But so far, we're not, so it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and continue until we've got the repair. We've got another message here. Okay. Can we get rid of Tom Woodridge? He's not exactly the greatest race mechanic in the world. Let me take a look at that. That's actually staff. Tom Woodridge. Yeah, but he's our better mechanic. No? I mean, it's only going to hurt her morale a little bit, and she's probably fine as far as that goes. Let's take a look at her. So we had two events there that happened at pretty much the same time, which I'm not too happy about. But again, it's not that big of a problem with her morale, so it is what it is. We also have sponsorships to pick up, but I'm going to wait until we get more offers. Okay, we didn't get the car repaired yet? No. Okay, so we'll continue until that happens. Okay, now we have the car repaired. Let's go ahead and take a look at improving our parts. So we have suspension coming in 10 days. And we have these brakes, which are really low in reliability, but I'm hopefully going to get that up high enough. At the current moment, is there anything I want to switch around as far as our reliability? I mean, we've got 68% with this engine. Maybe we can change the improvement of the parts because, again, deceleration and top speed are going to be crucial. So I'm going to cancel these, and instead we'll go with the improvement of the brakes and the improvement of our engine. And, of course, we're going to go back to reliability because we want to be able to use this part for that next race because deceleration is going to be crucial. But otherwise, reliability... I mean, technically, our two suspension bits are a little bit less reliable. But for now, I think I'm just going to go ahead with that until we've got our pause here. And then I'll change things maybe. Okay. So, 3 days till that comes to pass. Go to improving our parts. So we're above 70% with both of these parts. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel their improvement. We got up to 36%, which is, it's moving in the right direction. And we're still working on that engine. We need to do that. I guess we'll work on the two suspension bits. Well, you know what? We're going to have another suspension bit, so I'm not going to do that. Do we just stick with the engine, I guess, then? Yeah, okay. I'll stick with the engine. I have faith that I'll be able to get the suspension we're about to build at least up to 60%. And that's usable enough. And Santa Ana can always use her nurse ability to help us out with the reliability. So I guess I'm just going to stick with the engine for now, and we'll go until how many days do we have until that one part gets built? 3. All right, so we'll just keep with that until we're done with the suspension, and then we'll build another part here. Okay. So we've got a vote coming up in a week to add a track. I'll probably vote for that. Okay, and then our suspension is built. So let's go to improving our parts, and I'm going to want to replace with our other suspension, which is that one, and keep on the full reliability. We're at 44% and 40%. So we've got 14 days. I'm hoping we'll get around 60% there. The next thing we're going to need to do is design a new part. So where are we on parts right now? So we've got 2 brakes, an engine, and 2 suspensions. So I guess the next part we're going to want to build is an engine. That's going to put us pretty far in the red, but that's okay. I think we can go that far down. Takes 13 days to build, so we'll build it just before this race is done, or we're there. But we won't be able to use it unless the reliability is high enough, which I doubt it will be. Okay, so go with that. And then plus 5 days. And we get plus 40 to max. That's probably the best choice. Now, that is going to kick us to beyond the race when we're going to get it, but I think that's okay. And we're going to be able to get that to almost up to 200 once we improve it, so that's good. All right, so that's what I'll stick with. We'll build that part. And confirm. And away we go. So we stop at the first of the month. Let's go to improving the parts, just see where we are. So we're at 72% with that. Suspension, I'll go ahead and cancel, and we'll switch over to the brakes because that's going to be more important for the upcoming race. We're at 49 and 46%, so again, we're getting it up there. We've got 9 days, so hopefully we can get that going, and we've got some more scouting reports. All right, let's go ahead and continue on to this vote. Take the vote and go to this screen. Now, it does say that it will benefit us adding on Phoenix, and I always like adding on these tracks anyway, so let's go ahead and vote for. Let's skip to the end here. I'm not sure exactly how this vote's going to go. All right, so it did pass, but barely. All right, so we'll have that track added on for next year. All right, well, hopefully Phoenix is not so top speed oriented of a track, which is kind of the problem I see with our current lineup, is very top speed oriented. Kind of hurts us maybe in the long run. We do have more sponsors to take a look at, but I'm going to wait until the last second to actually choose these. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue. I think we already moved our stuff around. We'll wait until this race is going to pause us naturally anyway, and then let's take a look at our parts. So we got up to 74% with our new engine. I figure we just keep on that. We're at 76% with our brakes. We could always switch back over to the suspension, just kind of balance things. But otherwise, it looks like we're pretty good. And yeah, it looks like we may just get to 60%, at least with these brakes. Maybe not the suspension. But I'll probably use it anyway, and then we'll just use Santa Ana's nurse ability, and we should be okay. Okay, well, let's... one thing I have never really taken a look at, and I just now realize that I haven't taken a look at it, is which person is better in which role. Let's see. Okay, so it doesn't actually matter, but it looks like Oscar is better in performance. So let's actually do that. Okay. Because as you can see, it actually changes how many days it takes to do, but we have no downside of having Tom over here. That's one thing that I, for the first couple seasons of both of the series I did, I didn't really pay too much attention to, and maybe cost me a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and continue then. And we only have a few more days left, right? So I guess we'll just advance to the race. I just want to make sure that we are still on, yeah. Okay, good. Let's continue till we get to Milan. All right, so we only have the 3 sponsors, unfortunately. And, oh, maybe I mistook that. All right, so in any case, we have 2 sponsor offers here. And I'm going to take this one. just because we're never going to really get second or above, so this bonus is meaningless, but the upfront cash is always useful, so I'll go ahead and take that. I didn't pay attention how long it was going to last, but it's only 4 races, so that's not too bad. Our other offer over here, this is the one we really want to go for. And honestly, I think we should go with the more realistic one, which is the 16th or above. I know we lose, more or less half the bonus per race, but we do get $1 million up front. And I think this is a good idea. 16th or above is probably much more realistic than 14th or above for us. So we'll accept that offer. We'll get $1 million, which is going to help us a little bit get out of the red. And let's go on to the race itself. So the first thing we're going to need to do, obviously choose our sponsor, and then we're going to need to fit our parts, which I haven't done in a while, and we've got some new parts to choose from. So let's start. We're going to give brakes there, brakes there. Then engine's already set up. Suspension is not, so we're going to do that, and then do that, and we're good on suspension. He's unhappy, and that's just... against the other car, he's not so happy. She's okay because her car's much better. But, I don't like Dior anymore, so screw him. We're still not anywhere near where we need to be competitive with either of our cars, though. You can take a look at that. So top speed, we're still 10th. Deceleration, we're still 9th. And we're 10th in handling as well. And that means we're 10th overall. So let's go ahead and continue now that we have the parts fitted. And, I guess this ranks our cars. I never really paid that much attention to this. So 20th and 17th. All right. Well, I guess she has a realistic shot of getting 16th or above. But I don't know how realistic a shot we have of... finishing out of last place. Because we're probably going to get killed on this track, I'm probably just going to simulate the practice and we'll just go right into the race. But let's go ahead and choose our drivers. The only downside is Dior does have decent feedback. All right, so I'll set up the cars kind of along the lines what it's saying to do. So we did a little bit of higher downforce. We need to stiffen up the suspension, and I'll back this off a little bit. Okay, that's going to be my setup. Sure, softs, whatever. Confirm. And then over here, go a little bit lower on the downforce, but not by much. Handling will stiffen slightly. And then we need to go more towards acceleration. Interesting. You wouldn't think that on such a top speed oriented track, but do something like that. And then mediums is fine with me, I guess. And we'll just continue here, and I'll just say instant result. I think we're going to get murdered on this track, but just because of the nature of it and the ability of our cars. All right, so we finished in dead last. Not too surprising. I think it'll be very tough to not finish that way. A lot of it depends on if we have any crashes. Always keep our fingers crossed for that. But really, I think it's going to be tough. All right, so let's go ahead and get our bonuses. It doesn't look like it gave me much, so I'm going to be using the nurse ability and race trim. I was going to probably use this anyway, so that's okay. And then we're going to take the risk taker trait, which is going to help us a bit. Our car setup, we didn't quite get it on, but it's close enough, and I don't know which way to take things because I didn't take the practice myself. That's kind of the downside of doing that. I also don't know how the tires are going to behave, and let's see what our forecast has to say. So it's going to be sunny as far as we know, so I'm going to start pushing just to get some temperature in the tires, but I really don't know if that's the right strategy. As far as tires, I think I am going to give Dior mediums just to get him on a different pitch strategy. We also want to fuel him up, and we want to make sure that Santana's fueled up as well. There we go. And we're going to be using softs. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. Let's continue. Now, I didn't pay attention to our pole position, but I expect to be, yeah, close to the top. So first and fourth. Let's continue. And I'll try and be more aggressive with Santana to see if we have a chance with her, but I really don't know. Oh, we've got a decent start there. All right, so we'll keep with Dior while he's in first. I just don't know how well he'll be able to maintain that. I'm surprised we're not getting passed like crazy already, honestly. But there it starts. I am going to tell him to allow teammate through, so she can pass if she gets the opportunity. And now she's in second. I expect him to be close to the back. Alright, so we're continuing to drop positions, but Santana's not doing too bad. Not as bad as we've seen in the past, but, I mean, as you can see, their cars are a lot faster than ours. So, it's going to be a challenge. Alright, temperature still not quite there yet. Forecast looks like it's going to continue to be either sunny or cloudy intermittently, but no rain. And tire temps starting to get there. We're down to 15th at this point. Dior's all the way in the back, no surprise there. He does have slower tires, though, so we have to keep that in mind. I'm close enough. I want to see what happens with these soft tires if we go on neutral strategy. See if they, like, slow down. We're no longer in 16th. Wow, that guy drove off the track to get around us. Oh, I should speed up here. There we go. It looks like the tires are running cool if I were to guess, because we were close to the middle before I backed off on the tires. Now the question is, can we outlast our competition? I'm going to go with a push here. I think we should be able to stay out longer than they are, just because their tires are starting to get a little ragged here. And Santana is actually keeping with the pack, and the way this track works is once you pit, I mean, this track's so fast that you're going to really pass everybody when that happens. Alright, we're going to have to start thinking about pitting ourselves, though. So I'm going to go ahead and cue that. I'm going to stay on softs. I'm going to try and be a little bit more competitive here. And let's also take a wiser pit. So 9 seconds. You know what, I'll take the full 10 seconds because it actually is decently efficient. And we'll go with the balanced pit. But 10 seconds is an eternity on this track. Dior will be able to stay out at least another couple laps, maybe, depending on his fuel. So we're going to lose all those positions we gained. And we're going to be out in dead last. So that's kind of the way that we'll go on neutral here. The pitting on this track affects things. Okay, so I am going to stay out one more lap, but that's going to be it on fuel. I can't really afford to stay out any longer. We keep him on medium tires and try and get around the rest of the race. He was on medium tires, and it only really lasted... You know, this really doesn't tell you much of anything. We see here it only lasted 9 laps. So that's not even halfway with these. I mean, we could push him to probably get halfway, but at this point, we're probably going to have to pit another couple times. So I'm going to go ahead and take soft tires because that is going to be probably the best choice for us. And as far as fuel goes, I am going to try and do more efficient pit here, just on time. I'll go with 11 seconds. No, we're not quite getting full fuel, but there we go. We make it a 9-second pit, a little bit quicker than what we managed with Santa Ana, and we'll pit. So Dior's in 7th. Santa Ana's in 20th. We're going to start losing places here, and he's going to be pitting anyway, so... Alright, so he's coming in. Has to, because of fuel. And we'll go to a neutral strategy here once he comes out. We'll go to Santa Ana now, who passed him while he was in the pit. Alright, around and around we go. We have a significant gap now between our cars and the rest of the pack. Again, pits do kind of change the nature of some things, but this also showcases how slow our cars are and how non-competitive they are on a track like this. But here comes some pits that we should be able to take advantage of. There we go. We're up into 18th. And I expect the car that's currently in 16th to pit, if not this lap, next lap. Next lap would be kind of close for them, though. Let's go ahead and into a push strategy here, just because the tires are starting to get cool. Yours in 19th, but it looks like he's going to lose that position. Oh, that guy did not pit. Interesting. We're going to have a bunch of pitting up ahead, though. We're very far away, though, so it doesn't look like we're going to catch that. Some of it will catch, not all of it. We get out into 11th, which is not bad, but now we're going to have to start thinking about pitting ourselves. If not this lap, next lap. Go ahead and start pushing you, too, to get temperature in those tires. Alright, we got more positions to take advantage of, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll cue our pit. And we'll take on... I don't want to have to pit again. And as a result, I'm going to take these medium tires. Fuel, we're going to need... Oh, there's no way we could get around with... No, we only need 6 laps worth of fuel. So we'll try for that. It's kind of a gray area. I should be okay with 5.53 laps of worth of fuel from what I've seen in the past. And I'm going to risk it. So we're going to have to go with the balanced pit, though. So that's 8 seconds. I don't want to waste that extra second of fuel, even though it would guarantee that I can make it around. That's what I'm going to go for. So we're going to take that and see what it gets us. Dura, on the other hand, we're definitely going to come out on softs. On the other hand, softs might have been the right choice. I may have to modify my decision here. Yeah, let's modify that. I'm going to cancel the pit, re-pit. I'm going to take softs. I think that's the better choice. We're going to take 5.5 fuel as far as fuel goes, and we're doing balanced. All right, that's the plan now. Dura can stick out for a little bit longer. We're in 10th, but I don't expect to stay there now that we're pitting. Matter of fact, everybody and their brother is going to pass her. We're going to get lapped as well. Okay, now Dior. You can go ahead and go to neutral. Do we pit now? Or do we wait? I say pit now. Pit now. Take softs. Fuel up enough to get around. That's going to do it there. Pitch strategy is going to be fast, so it's only 6 seconds, but it's still going to be in last place when he's done. I'm not going to fix the brakes, even though they are a little, on the low side. And Santa Ana should leapfrog here, up into 18th. And he can back off to a neutral stance as well. All right, so now we just have to make it around a few laps. We have more than enough fuel. And I can actually burn it if I feel threatened, which honestly I do here. So we're going to go ahead and burn some fuel. And I'll actually burn it here too. Because we just got passed. I don't know. Oh, somebody retired. His engine's starting to look rough. So I'm going to back off until we get close to the end. Because I don't want his engine exploding on us. How are your parts doing? Fine, because you have the nurse ability turned on. I'm actually surprised that still comes in handy at this point, but... We're not that far away from getting into... Oh. We only have one more lap to go. So, it was saying fuel, like, maybe not as excess, but... Alright, I think we can... Well, there's no point to push him. He's too far away from the car in 18th. We are catching up to the car in 16th, so continuing to push, I think, is the right strategy. The only problem is we don't have much time, so I'm going to overtake here. Let's see if we can manage it. Ah, just barely failed. Alright, well, we made it around. That's what matters. The 17th and 19th. But, you know, this is a track that we're going to struggle with in most instances, so it is what it is. Unfortunately, the engine that would have really helped us out, we are not going to have until after the race. But, I don't know. Are we going to see Milan again? I guess we'll find out here in a second. Checking cars. We didn't break rules, so we won't get demoted. Possibly somebody else will. Let's just check. Doesn't look like it. Huh. Is that how we finished? Was a little bit confused with that, how it said we finished that. I'm going to have to double check that because now I'm not sure. But we'll see. We'll see if we have Milan coming up. Maybe we'll be more competitive in the future. Okay, morale improving. Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue here. Get our money. It would have been nice to get our sponsorship bonus, but unfortunately we failed to do that. Okay, yeah, we will have Milan close to the end of the year, so we should be able to improve that new engine we're building by that time. Okay, so we've got our car repair needed. I'm not going to do the interview. It's always the same kind of nonsense. And I'll go ahead and just advance to getting the car repaired. And then I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.